Hello, this is George. I'm a sales engineer in Genetec, and today I will be presenting to you this ins and outs of Security Center 5.9. It's a general demo of the unified platform, the Security Center platform. And as we go with this demo, we're gonna touch upon the latest innovations that we released in this 5.9 version. And so without further ado, let's start with the demo here. I hope everyone can see my screen. I think everything's okay, just to see here if there's anything. If there's anything, I think just signal me with a question, I think. Yep, all right. Looks like everything's okay. Let's start. So I'm going to first load the Security Desk screen. So this is the Security Desk, the main client application for Security Center. It's a Windows-based application, and the demo is going to be centered on this client because it has all the features. We also do support a web client, which is a light version of this client here, and a mobile application. So we're gonna show those briefly as we go with the features, but the main stuff are gonna be done on this Security Desk. So as you can see here, Security Desk, it's at version 5.9.3, which is the latest release of 5.9. I think the demos that I've done were actually spread across all those releases. So I think I started with 5.9.0 and then 1 and then 2 and now here 3. So these are minor versions. In every release, in every minor release, we just add a few features and we add support for more hardware, mainly cameras, other integrations, and stuff like that. So I always like to start my demo here with the login screen. So login screen has a lot to talk about. Starting with this trusted directory here, as you can see. So you see here this padlock and the screen. So that tells me that I have a certificate on the server and that certificate is valid. And I'm actually speaking to that server. There's no way some other people are faking that they are the directory, and then I'm going to give them my username and password as they type them here. So this is the same here as when you go to a website like this one here. If you go to genetec.com or any website, as soon as it loads here, and if it has a valid certificate, you're going to see here the padlock. Today, it's the norm. Everywhere you go, you're going to see it here, and it says valid certificate, and that's that's your main actually signal that you are actually on the website of Genetec and not some other people faking that they are Genetec. So this is the same here. Yeah, this is the main feature, but the thing about this is that we started pushing all these security features I think back since 5.3, because if you want to get a software to protect your security, your physical premises and everything, and people, then you want to make sure that that application is really secure in itself, and not anyone can really hack into it and basically get access to your most secure information and locations. So that's one thing here. And the other thing is the integration with Active Directory. And one click here, I would use my Windows credentials to log in. And by the way, with this 5.9, I think starting 5.9.2, we started adding more support for identity providers through our support to OpenID and XAML too. At the moment, I think we added one more provider here in 5.9.3. I think it's Okta. Let me check here the latest releases of 5.9.3. Yeah, so we actually added third-party authentication with Okta, and that's pretty much it. When we added in 5.9.3, we added also the which actually in line with what I just talked about, the certificates. So we added the support for elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, which can be added as a type of certificate to verify that the server. So it's going to touch on this part of the application, the certificate part. The other identity providers that we started supporting also are basically Azure AD, ADFS. It's we supported that a long time ago, but we added now. We changed the license for it, and we also support Keycloak and Ping Identity. So along with Okta, and that list is going to grow with time. So mainly, this is going to allow you to use more ways to authenticate into the system other than just typing username and password or Active Directory. Let me log into the software here. Or actually, I can show you how that would look like when you use, for example, here this. I'm going to show you how to log in to the web client using Azure AD here. So the way it's going to work is this here. So there you go. If you can see it here, oh, that was too quick. So you can see here the username and password, but on top of this, you got sign in with Azure AD. So with this link here, you're gonna instead of entering username and password, you can click on this link here, and then that's going to take you to the authentication at Azure AD, as you can see here. So now authenticating with Azure AD here, and there you go. It's you're going to be authenticated at Azure AD or other identity providers that are supported, and that's going to take you back to the web client, and you could log into it. So if you don't have it, you will always get the web client regular way to log into. So just username and password. And the web client, again, it doesn't require any installation. It's just a browser, any browser basically, and you point to the server and you log in with your username and password or with any other identity providers that are supported. So let me get back to my application and log in here. Sorry. So I'm going to log in with the admin user, which is the super user, and that's my workspace. So usually, what we always like to show in Security Center is the unification. So the main thing is that you can do a lot of things from the same window, the monitoring window here that is already open. So you can see here I have maps, and I have cameras, and I have license plate recognition cameras actually showing the screenshots and the license plate reads. I could also have any swipe from any door. It's going to show here. I can communicate with intercoms that are connected to the system. You can see here the phone icon here. So that one I can click and I can dial any extension. It could be another user on a system or an intercom, and it could be somebody at the intercom calling to the security desk, and it's going to ring here. So unification here, as you can see here, the intercoms, the doors, cameras attached to doors, regular cameras, the license plate cameras, here, license plate cameras, maps here. So the map interface allows you to really do everything, the monitoring from the map directly, not having to look at names here. Just you point at a camera and you open it and it's going to show. And what else? Analytics is part of the system too. So all you have to do is just configure analytics. We support people counting, privacy protection, intrusion detection, object detection, and a lot more. And they are part of the system, so no need to really install anything, another application. It's all built in. It requires a license though, so it's not going to be for free. So just open the license and it's going to be available to you. So that's a quick word on the unification here. And the other good thing about the system is the open architecture. So so you see those cameras here. This could be any camera from any manufacturer of over 100 manufacturers. So roughly 5,000 camera models that are supported. So in Genetec, we don't manufacture cameras, we don't manufacture access control hardware, we don't manufacture intrusion panels or intercoms. So we support, for intercoms, we support anything that is SIP compatible. For doors, it's open. Mainly we support manufacturers like us that support open architecture, mainly Mercury. If you can see the screen here, so that's my demo kit in the office. You see here there is this Mercury panel and a reader attached to it, and there's another HID panel and a reader connected to it. So it's open. You bring your hardware. That hardware is not modified. It comes with the firmware from the vendor. We don't reflash it, or you don't need to flash it to work with Genetec. So and that's why we're good at taking over other systems. So if the other systems, if the system is using Mercury, for example, it's very easy to take over. And so it is if you decide to leave Genetec. The hardware is yours. You can use other software with it. So open architecture, you see those. This is the HID door. This is the Mercury door, and they're all working side by side on the same software, and they're running their own firmware. There's no Genetec firmware on them. And from here, I'm going to show you a bit of how would that really work. So mainly, you decide on which pattern you want to use here. So I'm using a 2x2, but you could choose any pattern. And to load anything here, if it's a camera, very easy, just drag the camera into the view, like this camera. And you could drag also multiple cameras. And then if you put the focus on that camera, you see here, there is a series of commands that are available to you, mainly to pause, rewind, to quick search, to take a snapshot, or to export the video, speak or listen, or add a bookmark. A bookmark is a text that you can add to the timeline. So here's the timeline. It's now showing that it's recording. Green is the motion, and white is no motion usually. So as soon as you add a bookmark, it's going to show here like a tag, and you can reference that to refer to video sections, to video segments that are of interest. If you drag a door to the scene here, that's going to show the camera attached to that door. But here you see the controls have changed, so you can now unlock the door, because this is a door and it has a camera on it. And these controls are for the cameras. These controls are for the door. So unlocking, overriding the unlock schedule, shunting the reader, forgiving anti-passback violation. So very graphical as an interface and very intuitive. What else can I show you here real quick? So yeah, that's mainly it. The maps. If you do not want to work with the old interface, which is really just having a list of all the cameras and all the doors and drag them into the view, you can use a map. So the map is very intuitive as well, and it's very also intuitive to design. Just load the map and start dragging the cameras, the doors into their places, and they're going to be showing here. So this is the Genetec building here. I got two cameras. I got this door. And from here, you can just click on any camera, and you're going to see the feed from it. You can move it around, pin it if you want, so that allows you to move around and keep it locked. The tile could be locked here, and at the same time, you can also have access to the timeline, so you can go back in time or see a bookmark here, motion detected. So very intuitive and also very useful if you want to really if you work on a large system or multiple locations. So you can jump from one map to another. So that link is going to take me to here. That link is going to take me to another floor inside the building, and you can move back and forth here. So if I want to go back to the GIS map, I can just click here and it takes me back. So that's in a nutshell here how you can work with the system in multiple ways, the maps and the old the classical tiles. We have another way. It's called the dashboard. We're going to talk about this later as we go on. Let me here switch to a quick demo of how also about the unification. Let me show you how that works here. Since I'm not in the office, I'm going to use a recording that I've done back in the days. So in this demo here, just before that, let me show you. I'm going to use a couple of card holders that I have on my system. So from the same application here, you can see I can go to card holder management, and I can create card holders. I can change their access. I can give them cards. So I'm doing this from the same application, from the monitoring application and card holders. So as soon as you can do everything from the single pane of glass. No need to really use other applications to do card holder management and to monitor cameras and doors and what have you. So on this lab, I'm going to check the lab workers. So I got my lab workers, which I always use in demos. So I got this lab worker number 1, number 2, and 3, and 4. And I'm going to use those to swipe across these readers on my desk here. So that's my desk camera. So I'm going to use it to swipe here on the HID door, which is this guy, and the Mercury door, which is this guy. And you will see here that every time, since each door is attached to a different camera, you can see that every time you swipe with a card on any of the doors, it's going to bring the feed from the attached camera, whether this or that, and it's going to show you the cardholder picture. And that's the best example to show the unification. Let me show you that in the recording. So here, so again, my Mercury and HID door, and I'm going to bring the lab worker number 1 and swipe it. And I'm monitoring everything on tile number 2, so I keep it blank. So here, the upper right corner, it's going to show all the events, all the alarms that happen. So if I take that card holder and swipe it on the other reader, which is the Mercury guy, it's going to again show up on the same tile here, and it's going to show a different feed that's coming from the camera that is attached to the Mercury door. So that's how the unification works. And it's not only this, we also want you to use that system without video if you want, or with the video only. So video only, you would use the tiles all the time, but if you don't have video with it, you can use this classical alarm view or alarm management view that allows you to check the alarm. So if I swipe with this card here, you see it, the card holder on the tile, on the map, and on that alarm management view. So here you see it on the map. So it shows in real time on the map and on the tile at the same time. And the alarm management view here is not just a passive view, it's also dynamic. You can double click on any of those events and it's going to show in a tile if it's attached to video, and it's going to show you the video from the time when that access happened, when that access event happened. Or if you can right click on any of those events and run a report. For example, you want to check if lab worker went through other doors, or what other activities, what other alarms they've been triggering. You can right click and run the cardholder cardholder activities report. The next part of this demo here is I'm going to show you another scenario. So let's say that this lab worker number 3 lost their card, or they showed up with a card. So what they can do is they can ring the intercom. So you see here, it's an access intercom, and that's going to ring on the application again, like I told you. And you can answer from here. First, you're going to see the feed from the camera facing that intercom, but you can also switch to the camera on the intercom itself, because that intercom has a camera on it. So that feed is coming from, when I answered, the feed is coming from the camera on the intercom. But like I said, you can switch to the other camera. So here, you can switch to the main entrance camera, which you choose based on which camera is facing that intercom. So from here, I can, for example, verify who's at the door visually, and I can go to cardholder management, and they say their name is lab worker number 3. I can search for their name. So again, I'm switching from one tab to another. No need to run another application. I would check for all the lab workers, and there you go. That person looks like the one standing in front of the camera. So I can unlock the door. You see here that icon there? I can unlock. Click, and it unlocks the door. And you get the alarm, so the door manually unlocked. And you get the feed, so you can follow that person as they go through the building if you want. And the next thing, they're going to show up to your desk, and you can swap their card. So very easy here. You go to their card, you set it as either click that button to assign temporary card, and that's going to switch, give you the chance to swipe another one, or simply go to the card properties and then set it to lost and save it. And when you do that, after you save that, the card is going to be lost. So if somebody finds that card and swipes it, you're going to see what's going to happen here. Access denied, lost credentials. So the door won't open, and you're going to get the feed directly, and you see what's happening in real time. And at the same time, you see here, I got an email notification saying, heads up, access denied, lost. So I programmed the system to actually send me an email every time there's an access denied. And that's one of the things that we do that actually that the system does. So this system is not only for interacting with it, it also help automating many stuff. So for example, the most simple way to automate things is called event to action. So we scan for an event, and then when the system detects that event, it's going to trigger an action. So the actions are, there's a lot of actions. So we got a list of actions here. All of these actions can be taken, can be programmed to be taken upon an event. So that event can be an access denied. It can be a camera lost. It could be somebody logged off, logged in, somebody failed their login. It could be a system down. It could be a database lost, packet lost, you name it. All the access control events, they can be set here, and then you can trigger all those actions. So these actions, to summarize here just a little bit, you can, these are camera events, camera actions and access control actions. So you can unlock doors, you can start recording, you can stop recording, you can start recording at a higher resolution, you can log off people, you can send emails, you can email a snapshot from a camera. The list is really huge. Yeah, just to name a few, what I just said here. And the other thing that we also do on the system is another step further of the automation is what we call threat levels. So threat levels is a series of actions that you wanna automate. It's not just only one. So event to action is one event detected, do one action. Threat levels is do multiple actions back to back, basically simultaneously. So for example, in a situation you want to lock the doors, you want to notify people, you want to start recording at all the cameras, you want to log off some people, you want to do a series of actions. So you program that into threat levels, and they're going to be taking as soon as that threat level is triggered. Threat level is triggered by simply here choosing one here from the list manually, but it could also triggered by an event to action. For example, somebody presses a button, and then you get this typically a panic button, and then you get the threat levels executed. It could also be done mainly by an event to action, or manually, like I said. It could also be triggered from a mobile phone. So somebody is on the go, but they need to do something. They get a call, just open their mobile application, and then threat level lockdown, for example. They can tap the button, and everything's going to be locked down as programmed. If you have a scenario where you really need more advanced filtering of the events and more advanced actions that you want to take, we got what we call the mission control. So mission control allows more filtering. So just to give you an example, a quick example of how mission control does and when it works. For example, you have a door, and you got a door forced open event on that door. It could be that somebody opened that door physically, or that maybe the sensor, the door switch is maybe is not calibrated so well. So if there is wind and the door is vibrating, it could trigger like an open door forced open event. So to filter that, you maybe have a camera at the entrance. So what Mission Control can do, it can filter that if a door forced open is triggered, and then 2 seconds after that you detect a motion detected. So that means that somebody has actually broken into the building. It's not just the wind vibrating the door. So in that case, it's going to allow you to trigger more actions, same like threat levels and even more, because it allows you to incorporate some SOPs in it, follow a certain procedure, make sure that the steps were taken and everything is audited, so you can check after who's done what and who did not do what they were supposed to do. Let me go from here and show you a little bit of the cardholder management, since we talked a little bit about it. So this is the access control part. It has no video in here. It's only for access control for defining cardholders. And by the way, there's this manual way of adding cardholders, but you can also import them from CSV, and you can also import them from various other systems like Azure AD or something, or Active Directory. I'm going to show you here the manual way. And so you can add the cardholder. It's very graphical here. Click the plus sign, define the picture from the source, from a webcam or something. Usually first name and last name, and define credentials. You can add as many credentials as you want. So it's not just one card. Maybe some users need more than one card. They could also use some license plate. So in that case, if the card arrives at the parking entrance, the system would read the plate and then it opens the door automatically if it's part of the properties here. Mobile credentials, so that will be a credential on the phone. So use your phone to tap on the reader. And again, you can add as many as you want. And there are a lot of custom fields that you can add. So for example, here, company info, you can add those. So these are custom fields. These do not come in a fresh new install. You program them as you need. And actually, what you're seeing here is a new feature in 5.9.3. So all the custom fields now, they come collapsed. So you have to expand them. So that's going to give you more space here and more visibility when you open viewability, basically, when you open that interface. So you can add as many as you want of those custom fields, and you can define the access from here. So one thing here I want to tell you about is the clearance level. So that's not a custom field. This is a built-in field. So every cardholder by default inherits this clearance level of 7, which is the lowest. What we use this for is actually to trigger a lockdown. So what we do is we divide users among 8 levels from 0 to 7. 7 is the lowest, 0 is the highest. And if you want to trigger and we segregate users, so we define users with higher levels than other ones. For example, if you look at my lab workers, so lab worker number 1 here, they have a clearance level of 1, whereas the other guys 7. So everybody else from the lab worker team, they have a clearance level of 7, whereas the lab worker number 1 has a clearance level of 1. So if I want to do a lockdown and only allow lab worker number 1 to get in, and during that lockdown, all I have to do is just create a threat level, and among the actions, raise the clearance level the acceptable clearance level to 1. In that case, only this guy can be able to get in. The other ones have 7, so they will be left out. And actually, let me show you that here. So in that case here, in my example, I'm going to show you a clearance level that is triggered by a panic button. So here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press the panic button down there, and when I trigger that, it's going to trigger the threat levels. So in my threat levels, I program the system to load the same camera 4 times, but usually you would load the most important cameras. And I also rate the clearance level to 1. And that means only lab worker number 1 is going to be able to get in here, and you will see that. So lab worker number 1, they can get in. You can see it here, access granted, and the feed from the camera, of course. Lab worker number 4, clearance level of 7, they cannot get in, even though their access is still the same. The card is valid and everything is valid, but for now, since we are in lockdown scenario, and you see it here in red, which is the color of that lockdown, it's still active. Now it's not active anymore. I deactivated it, and now everybody would be able to get in. Here you see lab worker number 2. Now she's able to get in, and everybody else, of course. So that was just a show of how you could do a lockdown, and you automate things in Security Center. From here, I will move to basically to something that we also changed in 5.9.0. So you see here the custom fields. We got company info and we got payroll. So when you got the title here, which is not a standard field, I added those. The campus as well, the building, the mobile phone number. So these are all custom fields. And what we did in 5.9.1 is that these, if you used web client before 5.9, you wouldn't see any custom fields, and that's something that we changed here. Let me show you here real quick. If I log into my web client and I open the access control part, so cardholders, let me look for here. Look for lab workers. So lab worker number 1. If I open it here, you see building, campus, title, all those custom fields that weren't available here in this interface before. So that was something that we did in 5.9, and since we are inside the web client, let me show you about one other thing that we've done in 5.9.1. So in 5.9.1, we added support. We added actually support for keyboard navigation to be compliant with WCAG. So this is for people with limited mobility, if I may say here. So let me take a camera from here. By the way, you can do it without, but I'm doing it with the mouse just to speed up things. But let me show you if I actually take this camera. It's a PTZ. So that's a PTZ camera here, and if I do the tabs here, you can see that the tab is moving here. You see it here now. If I do Control Tab, Control Shift. Control Shift. I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong window. Here. So if you do tab now enter recording. If I hit enter, in this case, it's going to start recording. So tab and enter. Or shift tab to move back. So that's kind of moving back, and then tab to move ahead. And now let me just hit enter to stop recording again, and hit tab again. And now I'm at the control for the PTZ control. If I hit enter, it's going to open control, and you're going to hit tab again here. Basically go up, shift tab, and then go up. Just to show you here real quick, so you can move around by simply using just the keyboard and just the keyboard without needing to do the mouse. So that's one thing that we changed also. And let me go back to my monitoring here and show you some video stuff here. So mainly what I'm going to show you here is how you search for information. And these are things that we added back in 5.9, but they're really still great to show. Let me load my one of my best cameras to do that here. So the main entrance. So let's take this camera and move to full screen. Double click to move to full screen. And then you see here the controls that are available. I'm going to show you how you can find videos real quick in Security Center. So the basic thing is to use the timeline. So just drag the cursor back, and that's going to take you 2 seconds. You can simply just scroll the mouse over the timeline and change the scale, and then it's going to take you really back for longer than that, you can drag it to 1 or 130. And the other way to do that is if you really know the time, you can simply go here, click on Go Specific Time. So these icons here, they're really tiny and small, but they include a lot of features. So this Go to Specific Date here or time allows you to browse from the recorded time. So this camera is keeping 30 days of video, and that's a calendar view of all the recordings. So everything that's green includes a recording. So you can go straight to 11th of August and to 11 o'clock directly in 2 clicks. So that's going to take you back to that time, and you can export the video. Click export from all the tiles or from that video, and your evidence is ready to go. The quick search is very useful if you want to track something that happened on a system, like a change in the view, maybe like a broken glass or an accident, something that's changed, something that was stolen, and you can search through a part of the image here. So the best example, if I can show you here, quick search, and I'm gonna go to the moment when this car arrived here. It's not, I can try again, give it a second here. So I can basically put the square on this car, and if I hit start, that's gonna give me screenshots of from that part of the screen across the time. So if I move back here, I'm gonna get to a moment where there's no car, and that's gonna tell me when that car simply arrived. So it tells me here it's between 6:12 and 7:24, so I can drill down. Very easy to use, very intuitive, and as soon as you get to the to a place where it's really down to 1 minute or something, like here we're down to 2 minutes, you can go straight to the video. So here now we know it's 7:15, so I can click play. And that's going to take me to the right moment when that car arrived. And from here, I can, as soon as I see the car, if I want to record this, I can simply just hit export, and that's going to take that evidence here. Just give it a second for that car to arrive. Let's give it 2 times, 4 times. There we go. So that car arrives. And let me give you what this other icon do here. It's called visual tracking. So visual tracking takes exactly 2 clicks to configure. When you're mounting your cameras, you're configuring the streams, the recording stream, all that stuff. It takes two clicks to basically draw a rectangle or a circle on the screen. And if you hover the mouse over it, that's going to take you to the next camera. So if you know the cameras while you're installing them, that's the best time to program this, because after, in a panic situation, if you want to follow that person, for example, you wouldn't know which camera on the list here. It's going to be very tough to really find unless you know the system by heart. So in that case, I can show you how I can follow that person here. It seems like they're going up to the 2nd floor. So I can use this icon here to go follow them. If they went to the 1st floor, I can use this one here. So let's wait there. I can click now, and that's going to show me from, and that's going to allow me to follow that person into the other view. So there we go. And that works in real time and in recorded. It doesn't have to be only in real time. So that was a little bit about how we find videos here and how do we export them. Exporting is very easy once you define your, once you have your video and you're really 100% sure that it's what you want. Just click on the export and export video, for example. So let's say I want to export from this camera something like here, just 1 minute. Just lower down the interval to 1 minute something here, and call that video here testing 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can choose the format. You can export in MP4, ASF, which require any media player, or G64X, which is our format and requires our player, and we can bundle that player with it. So let me hit export here, and that's going to go to the vault, which is where I can burn it on a DVD or keep it there if somebody wants it here. Now it's exporting. Just give it a second here. There we go. Open the vault, and I can go see my video here. So since we've done this, I'm gonna talk about a few things here that we changed in 5.9. Just before that, let me just say one word about the exporting. So this is the old-fashioned way of importing things, of importing video. The other way is to use Genetec clearance. So from here, I can send it to Genetec clearance. And that's another way of exporting video, because that's going to go straight to our evidence management platform on the cloud, which is called Clearance. And you can create a case in there. So you can select existing case and upload the video to it. So that's going to be a case that somebody already opened and they want this evidence to be part of it, or you want to create a new case, and that video is going to be the first thing that's going to be uploaded to the cloud. And with that way, you don't have to burn DVDs anymore and worry about have them delivered and arrive safely and pay all that money for that. It's going to go in all security, encryption to the cloud, and you can send email invitations to anyone who needs to see them, and they would also log into the system, and you give them the rights to either view, change, own. It's and all of this in all security, and no more worrying about burning DVDs and mailing them by mail. Let me go back to the Vault here just to show you what I was going to show you as part of the new enhancements that we've done. So part of the tools, the Vault. So the Vault contains all the video, and that's my video here. So some of the things that we've done in 5.9 is that this Vault is going to stack all my videos and all my snapshots. And with time, it's going to grow up, and you can't manage it really. So what we've done here in 5.9, basically in 5.9.1, is that we can now set retention on that. So this is the location of the Vault, the physical location. It's on my D drive. I can access it directly by clicking on the Vault here, but if you want to go physically to it, it's there. But you can also do now some cleanup on it. So you can define up to maybe 50 days, 100 days, 365 days, and after that, these videos are the older videos are going to be deleted. So that's an improvement that we've done on the Vault. The other thing that we've done is we used to actually protect the video from tampering by something called watermarking. So the watermarking is to add a digital signature to every frame, video frame that we write on the disk. So we changed that to something called digital signature. Watermarking is now something else. I'm going to show you that. So there you go. You can check the digital signature by right-clicking here and then verify digital signature. And we changed the algorithm as well. So the algorithm to actually pop this digital signature itself has been changed. It has less impact on the archiver on the NVR performance. So we used to worry about that. It used to take 50% hit on the archiver performance as soon as you enable the watermarking. Now it's basically insignificant. You can just don't worry about it. Just enable it, and then it's not going to waste a lot of CPU. Yeah, but what happened to watermarking? Let me show you what happened to it. So the watermarking now is switched to the user rights. So you can now basically here, if you go under user management, you can now watermark the view for users, and that's gonna be it's gonna show under. Let me show you user one here. User one, come on. So user one, if you see that user under the advanced settings, they have watermarking now. So I enable watermarking for that user, and I can configure it to show this way. So you can include on as overlay on the view the username, user one, or the workstation, and the camera name. And that's gonna basically what this does is it's going to discourage users from leaking evidence, or if the evidence leaks, you're gonna know where it came from. And on top of the names and thing, you can choose to have a single instance of that or a mosaic of it, and choose to be that way or that way. And you can play with the opacity here, or the size, or the size. So once you do that, if you log in with the user one, let me show you what's gonna happen. Do not save. User one. So that's user one. Let's take this camera. Come on. So you see here the watermarking on the view, and that user, if they export this video, it's gonna show this on the overlay. So let me show you here what happens if they try to export. So it's another change and that we've done also in 5.9 is that we now can block the exporting. So it's not only a right, you don't only have to give the right for somebody to export, but you have to give them the right to export alone or supervised. So let me show you if I try to limit this export here to something like this, and then just make it here 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah, and then if I hit export, that's going to ask me the supervisor credentials. So that user is not only watermarked, but they cannot only export by themselves. They need somebody to approve it. So I'm going to go here and approve that, and now they can export, which is another change as well in 5.9. Let me get out of the user one here and go back to my system here and show you another change that we've done in 5.9. Which is not so important, but it's it was a change. So we another way of finding the video is to run the archives report. So the archives report allows you to choose a camera. It's actually the first report I show you. It's a video report, but all the reports in Genetec, they work the same way. They have the same look and feel. So you define what you want here. Just check the camera, any camera, multiple ones if you want here. Let's do all this. And this, oh, wait a second. And then choose the time range. So choose all these cameras, let's say. And this, and let's do over the past week or the past day. So when you hit report here, it's going to show this this view here, which is a kind of the timeline summary of the timeline. It used to be like an image with no interaction, and now it shows you actually the scale and like the exact hour. And if you hover the mouse on it, it's going to show you the exact time. So now you can it's more interactive than before. So this was an access control. This is a video report. But all the reports in Genetec works the same way. Let me show you the cardholder activities report. So this is a cardholder activities report, which shows you everything that a cardholder was doing. Let's do the lab workers. So all the lab workers here, all the group, and let's do over this last 6 months, all the activities, and run a report. So you see here, same look and feel. You got the results. You can drag down any results to the tiles. If it has video, it's going to show you the video. If it has no video, then so let's take, for example, let's do it the other way around here. Let's do this, for example. If you drag it down, you're going to see the video. If there was an access denied, very easy to find. Just pick the access denied, and you want to find the video. It's part of it. It's no need to reconcile video and access control events separately. The other thing that we have in reports is the charts report. So hit the charts report here, and that's going to translate all the results that are here into a charts, and that's very quick and very insightful. So it's going to show you really very easy to change here. Just change the things here, and this dynamically is going to change, and that can be pushed directly to the dashboard. And the dashboard is something that we did not talk about, but the dashboard is another way of viewing the system. So if you go to dashboards here, let me take my dashboard here, my main one. So I can build my dashboard the way I want. I can include maps, cameras, pictures, and reports in it. And very easy to build. You can start from scratch. As soon as you open a one from scratch, you're going to be able to basically just drag any of those items here, like an image, drag it into here, define the size, and browse to the picture. And that's going to be here. If you want a report, you can also just simply drag a report or charts into here and define which report this is going to be. Or you can push it directly from here, just push to the dashboard. If that's the chart that you want to see, you're going to push it to the dashboard and it's going to come here. Actually, I pushed it already, so it's here. And you're going to see here the Door Activities report. And that's going to refresh if you click on it. This report is going to refresh every minute. So you can see in real time what's happening on that report. You're going to see the numbers change every minute. So it's your own workspace you created the way you want. And the tiles can be any size. You can stretch them like that, move them around, basically very easy to manipulate and create your own way of workspace. So from here, I'm going to move to, let me see here what I have next on my list. Yeah, since running out of time here, 10 minutes left, so I'm going to focus on the most important things that we've done in 5.9. And one of the most important things that we've done in 5.9 is now we can change the passwords of the cameras from our system. It usually took going to the camera interface before, so you have to load the camera interface, go to the IP address of the camera, and then change that. But now we can do it from here. And you can see it actually on the hardware inventory report. So if you go to the hardware inventory report and choose the camera units, video units, basically here, select them all and run a report. So you see here all the cameras, and you see here the IP addresses and the firmware, but you can also see the passwords. So now you can see the passwords here. So, and it tells you if it's weak or if it's strong. So if you, let's see here, these are very strong passwords, and you can view them. These are very strong. So these were changed by that application. Let me take this one, for example, the P1354. If I go to the P1354 here, that camera here. So we used to just keep this log here, but now you can change the password. So let me change that password, put it to something very simple. I'm going to put it to password and then password. And that's going to tell me, hey, it's weak, but I'm going to update it as well. So here the camera is going to go red just for the time to change the password, and it's going to go up again. So coming back. So now the camera is back and the password is changed. If I go back to the hardware inventory report and I run this report again, you can see here it's very weak, and that's the password I changed. So if you want to change those passwords on the camera, all you have to do here, so the camera went down, I got a notification on my email. So you can basically just select multiple cameras from here and choose to update the password and do update, send, okay. So that's gonna change the passwords on all these guys. And you see here, this very weak is gonna turn to very strong. If I run this report again, here, very strong, the same camera. And now you can see the passwords are all strong now. So very useful here to maintain the security of your cameras. You want to maybe do this on a regular basis. You can automate this. You can schedule the updating of the passwords because it's supported in event to action and scheduled actions. And you can also export that. So you can export the passwords into a file and keep it there. And that file can be also password protected. So that was a very good feature that we added here. Another good one is the privileged troubleshooter. So the privileged troubleshooter report is a very important report, because if you run the system after 2-3 years, you're not going to know maybe who has the rights to move this PTZ, who has the right to export from this camera. And that privileged troubleshooter is going to allow you to basically just do that. If you want to simply see a user and what rights, just hit privileges here and then maybe hit export. And then that's going to give you, export video. And that's going to give you all the people who can do exports on a system. So what we did in 5.9 is that we allowed now to export that report because it was only a viewable report, but now it can be exported. So just hit export, and that's going to go to an Excel file, and you can view it or share it with somebody. The other, what other things? Let me show you real quick here some changes that we've done in the graphical maps, and then we're going to end up with this. Wrap it up with this. So we did a lot of changes in the graphical maps here. So some of them is the clustered alarms. So you got an alarm here on the map, so you can view the alarms on the map. But what happens if you so here, if I zoom in on the map, I see the alarm, and I see here it says 3. So that means that there are 3 entities in that location. If I zoom in and more, that number is going to disappear. But if I zoom out, it's going to tell me how many entities, how many doors and cameras in total. So if I really zoom out here, let's zoom out and more, that's going to tell me there are above 10 entities in that area here if I want to zoom in. But it did not show me if I have any alarms. But now it shows here that is 1 alarm, so it shows that in red. So this is a change in 5.9. Also, the new thing that we added in 5.9 is that we can add the readers to the map. So before that, we used to only add the doors, but now we add the readers. You see here, so the door and the reader. And let me show you how that works here. So I'm monitoring that door on that tile. So if I right click here and unlock the door, it's going to unlock, and you see the alarm from it as usual, and the feed from that camera. You can also shunt the reader now. So right click and shunt that reader here. And that's going to disable that reader on that door. And that wasn't possible before. See here, the door went yellow when I shunted. So you can do this from the map now. And the floor view, I showed you that. So if you wanna jump from one floor to another, as soon as you do that, you have the option now to define which floor is which map, and you can switch around from one door to another, and to the center. What else here? Yeah, the last thing that we've done on the maps is that we can now import the blocks. We can now actually import all the entities from an AutoCAD map. Let me show you that real quick on a quick video that I have here. Here, graphical maps. So that's how you create a map. You simply just define what it is, and you can take a DWG file, which is an AutoCAD file. And if that file has the blocks on it, so it has the blocks for doors, for example. So if the doors are defined in blocks and the readers are defined as blocks and the cameras are defined as blocks, what you could do is simply just import them. So here it's the importing. So now we're going to import the readers basically here. So you want to import access control units, you want to import doors, just define which block is that, because it's also imported from the map, and that's going to bring all the doors in their location as on the map, and that's going to make it easier to really populate the maps with entities on a project of large scale. So here, just to make it real quicker. So there you go. As soon as you import them, you're going to see here you got the doors and the readers imported from the AutoCAD map. If I may have here, I think I have 1 minute left. I was going to show you a real quick demo of the mobile app. So let's do that here. Sorry. Oh, come on. Page down. So that's my quick demo of the mobile app. It's going to take 5 minutes. So I beg you some pardon here. So that's my mobile phone. I'm logged into the system, and you're going to see the same area view. So you're going to see the doors, the cameras, same way you see them on area view here. So that's lab door number 1, lab door number 2. You're going to see the intercoms. We don't support intercoms as of yet, but it's coming. So you see here the doors. So very useful if you are on the go you log in here, somebody needs the door to be open. You can simply just click on the door and you're going to see the feed. You make sure that they are there. And if it's them, all you have to do is just tap unlock on the mobile app. And that's going to allow you to get people in if they need to. See here on the map and on the tile, the alarm showing door manually unlocked. And everything is registered. So if somebody did that and they shouldn't do, it's all logged on the system, part of the audit trails. So the other things that we do on the mobile app are actually here, the threat levels. So I'm gonna trigger the threat level, the lockdown from my phone. You see it here, it's gonna go red. And again, if I show you, if lab worker number 1 tries to get in, they will be able to get in, whereas everybody else is gonna be stuck outside. Lab worker number 1, they can get in. And the lab worker number 2, they will be denied, even though their access is still valid. You can disable it from the phone or from the application. So I'm going to disable it from here. And after that, what I'm going to show you is that you can do a few reports on the camera events and plates. So that's for license plate recognition. But the most beautiful part is that you can interact now with the user. So you see here this admin user. So they have the icon. The icon here, it shows the exact location of the admin user if they open the phone. So I was there in the office, and now you can see here I'm exactly where I was sitting. And if they are in a place where they need to share something with them, all you have to do is just click on them, and you can hit this button here to start talking to them. So all you have to do is just type something in there. Let's say hey, and then it's going to get to their phone, and they can reply back. For example, I'm on my way, or anything here, they can send it and it's going to go to your desk. So from here, you can share videos with them. So maybe you want to share that view here on the screen. You got the share button here. So the share, if you click on it, allows you to send that video segment to the people on the go. So when you hit admin and maybe you want to include a text, you hit share, and that's going to get to their phone, and they can open it and view that video segment by just hitting play. It works the other way around. So if you want to get a camera to get a view of where that mobile user is, all they have to do is just start streaming from their phone. So there's the stream button here. They can click on the stream, and they can actually the camera phone will turn into a security camera, and it's going to start streaming. So there you go. You hit play or that red button, and that's going to create a camera automatically. You don't need to create a camera. It automatically creates itself. There you go. It went blank, white. So we're going to be able to basically see video from the phone from an area where there's no coverage. And basically that was it. That is all that I wanted to share with you today. I hope you found this demo useful and informational to you. And if you have any questions or you need to talk to us, feel free please to reach out to channelsales@genetec.com or to salesengineering@genetec.com. Thank you and have a great day.